So, no, that's stupid. Okie dokie. Hi guys! Welcome to my channel, which is very new in case you couldn't tell by my incoherent rambling. I'm super excited to share with you basically the foundation of my business, helping you plan the perfect hen weekend, also known as a bachelorette weekend for anyone, well, anyone not from the UK, because I'm pretty sure it's just us that call it that. Anyway, what we are going to be doing today is basically the key elements of planning a hen weekend. I'm going to tell you how to hen, if you will. That is the name of my website, for anyone who didn't understand that was a joke. Okay, 14 steps seems like a super weird number, but essentially what happened was I started writing them down and these are what came out. So we're gonna get straight into it because I'm sure you don't have time to listen to me talk. 1. Consult the bride. This seems like it should be obvious, okay? This seems like you're like, duh, obviously I'm gonna ask the bride what she wants. Well, yes, that's because you're a smart person and you're considerate. Not everyone is. Sometimes people forget. Planning these things, especially if you're like me and you're creative and you love events, you can get a bit carried away. You know, you can get in the zone with, but like, oh my God, wouldn't this be amazing? What if we did this? Wow, wouldn't this be great? Take a breath, ask the bride what she would like. Now, yes, she doesn't get to plan it. The whole point, if you're doing this properly, although I will also say that there's not really a proper way to do this because everyone's different. But if you're going to do it, you know, the way I think it should be done, the bride is not included in the planning process. So if you are the bride and you're watching this, no, shoo, go and send this video to your bridesmaid, okay? Or whoever, anyone who is planning your, my cat's eating the light. Ah, no. Yes. What was I saying? Okay, yes, send it to whoever is planning your hen, okay? Bye, if you're the bride, bye. No, no longer about you. Okay, now that it's just us. Yes, she needs to have a say. If she says, I really don't want a stripper, don't get her one. If she means it, you know, not if she's not like, oh my God, no, I'd hate that. Then she probably does and she just doesn't want to say that she does. But if she is adamant, then, you know, just, you don't have to do that. This also includes a date that suits her and a location that suits her. I should never have given him that bit of paper because now he's making a lot of noise. If you guys are gonna go abroad, you have to think about how close you want to be to the wedding in case any flights get missed for whatever unknown miscellaneous reason. And also budget, but we're gonna get into that. Number 2. Second thing that you need to do is create a Facebook event. Now, you may have some people attending who, gasp, do not have social media. That's okay. You can still power ahead with this. You just need to make sure that there is an email or a text chain or something that you can just easily copy and paste all of the information from the Facebook event. Every post just gets sent in an email or in a text. Done. There are many reasons for having a Facebook event. I'll do a separate video on that. I have a post on that on my blog, which is on kotahen.com. Lots of really good advantages, okay? But of course, the main one being that you can talk to everyone about everything all at once. Everything is in one place, which is much easier to handle. Trust me, I've done it. You're gonna want to have everyone in one place because you need to ask them some stuff which isn't important and some stuff which really is, which is number 3, budget. So this is always, I think, the worst part of planning any hen weekend. Budgets are tricky, money is a difficult issue, and some people are gonna be better off than others because that's just the way that life is. What you need to do is establish the bride's budget first. You know, she wants to go and do a big blow away thing. Fine, that's what she can do, but then only the people who can do that will be coming, and she needs to know that. Once you've got that, you need to know everyone else's. So everyone that she wants to invite, everyone she wants to be there, you need to find out what their budget is. The best way and the most subtle way to do this, I guess, is to message each person individually and say, hey, what are you thinking budget-wise? I am gonna give you a rough estimation, so if you'd rather wait for that, then fine, you can wait. But some people might want to just tell you from the get-go. They might just want to say, no, this is the maximum I'm willing to spend, and that's the end of it. That then gives you something to work with for the next bit. Before, your location and your venue. Once you have a budget, very vaguely, and once you know roughly where you want to be, whether it's in the same country, city, whatever, or further afield, you can start to do your research. What I would always do is have at least 2 options, preferably 3. You want to have the place you actually want to go, okay? the best of both worlds, the one that's not super cheap, but it's, you know, an alright bargain. It covers all your bases for what you want. You're near the things you want to be near or not near. You have the amenities that you're looking for, the space you're looking for. Once you have that one that you think is a good all-rounder, you have to find one which is good, maybe not as good, slightly cheaper, bit more of a low-cost version. You also want to find one that's very similar to this one that you want, but much more expensive. I'll tell you why. When you post on the Facebook group, this middle one that you found, just that one, that's the only one you post. You post that and you go, what do you think about this, guys? This looks great, it's got everything we're looking for, this is how much it costs. You can also then, sneaky in the comments, post the expensive version and say, this is sort of roughly what I've been finding, how much of a bargain is the one you posted, this compared to this one, the expensive one. And then you've got people thinking, oh well, actually, yeah, it's a bit expensive, but look at this one that she posted in the comments, that's super expensive, so this is actually a great bargain. The comparison works well. However, if this middle one, this sort of good all-rounder that you've posted, really is just above and beyond for too many people, or there's just someone the bride really wants to be there who says, I cannot afford that, along with everything else, because you have to remind these people this price isn't going to be everything they pay. There's going to be other stuff to pay on top of that, which we're going to come round to in some later steps. If then they don't want this all-rounder one, that's where your low-cost one comes in. That is when you say, okay, well, I also found this one. It's not as good for these reasons, but it's a little bit more in budget. Is everyone happy with that? You need to have that backup ready to go, because what you don't want is to only present one option and have half the group say, no, that's too expensive, and then you have to go and start from scratch. You want to have one in the back burner. Number 5. This is where I'm going to plug my services. You were wondering when that was coming, right? Kota Hen is a website that will honestly make your life so much easier. What I have done is search the great wide interwebs. I've spent the time on Pinterest, on Instagram, on the wedding blogs, and I have collated the best ideas with, at the moment, 9 themes, 12 different kinds of bride, which trust me will cover pretty much exactly whatever your bride is like. Once you buy a subscription to that website, and I say subscription, it's not a rolling thing, it's just one payment, and you will then be subscribed to the website for 6 months. You can log in and there will be hundreds of ideas, games that you can play, printables, score sheets, movie suggestions for every kind of category. Can I say drinking games? Drinking game rules for all of those movies, hundreds of movies, and everything else that you could want in there, really. There are a whole load of different levels of subscription depending on what you want. I can get more involved and I can help you out. You can also get custom stationery. There's a whole heap of stuff on there, but basically that is your step 5, because then, you know, you've done your budget, you've done your location, that kind of stuff. Once you're into the website, you can get right down into the really fun stuff, which is themes and games and activities, which is where we want to be. 6. Coming back to budget again. Once you have done the bulk of the sort of planning and you've put more of the weekend together and you know roughly what kind of games you want to play, you've got a theme, you know what kind of decorations you need to make, all that kind of stuff. You need to get really thorough here into the detailing. Write a list of everything you're gonna need, okay? So this includes, I'm talking everything here. Command hooks, glue, tissue paper, paper plates, fresh fruit that's gonna go in the cocktails, not just for eating. If you are buying food and that including it in your budget, then you need to write out a shopping list of everything you think you're going to need and include that. If you are providing the alcoholic beverages, then you will need to make a list of everything you want for your cocktail bar, add all that up. So I'm talking all the costs, okay? I'm talking exactly how much you think this weekend is going to cost you in total, everything. Take that number, add 10%, always more than you think it's going to be, and then split that between the number of guests that you have attending. You need to have this big number because you want your guests to be ready for everything and feel like everything is included. If when you're doing this big tally, there are stuff that you haven't included, so say you're all going to a nightclub one night and drinks aren't included, or you're all going out for breakfast one morning and that's not included because people are obviously buying their own. You need to make sure you tell them that. There is nothing that will ruffle people's feathers more than finding out they think they've paid for everything and actually there's something else. There's another extra cost on there. It's really gonna get people upset. What you want is to have one big price that covers pretty much everything. You tell them what's included and you say, ta-da, this is your final budget. Is everyone happy with this? This is exactly how much it's gonna cost you for the weekend. You will inevitably get people who will complain about certain things, and while you don't want to tell them everything that's happening, because you know, it's nice to have a little bit of element of surprise for people, you do need to sort of get them on board and get them to trust you, and you need to say, look guys, this includes 90% of your food for the weekend, or all of your food for the weekend, or however you're doing it. It includes all of the really cool decorations. If you think you're gonna have money left over, which very rarely happens, you can say this is gonna get put into a drinks kitty for our night out, or you can say it's gonna get used to buy a gift for the bride and groom from everyone at the end, which is always a really nice way to sort of cushion the blow if anyone thinks, oh, no way it's gonna cost all that much money. It will. But it's nice to give them an out. Number 7. Okay, we're halfway there. I know this is dragging, but we're gonna get there, okay? Confirm those costs and then set up a payment schedule. So what you want to do is, once everyone has said, yes, that's fine, happy to pay that, you then need to look at if you're paying deposits for anything. So if you have that all important stripper, or if you have a booking in a restaurant and they want a percentage up front, your accommodation will pretty much always need money up front, a certain percentage of deposit. What you want to do is get those dates all written out somewhere. I recommend a spreadsheet of some kind. Get all those dates written out and then put a month in front of whatever your earliest date is, and put on the Facebook group that this is the deadline, a month ahead, for when you need a certain amount paid. Not all at once, not everyone's going to be able to do that, and certain things like for your decorations, your food, whatever, you can take that later on. But the stuff that you need to pay out of your pocket, you have to make sure you get from people well in advance. So that's why I say put the date a month ahead, so that if anyone does run over, which they will, you'll still be fine. There will still be a little bit of cushion there, so it's not coming out of your pocket. Number 8, create a DIY and sources list. So all those decorations and stuff that I was talking about earlier, you want to turn the apartment into an Alice in Wonderland extravaganza. Great, cool. You know how to make all the stuff that's going into that. If you don't, I'm also going to be doing crafting tutorials very soon, so make sure you subscribe to see those. Cool, you want to do all that stuff, amazing, super. Write down how long it's going to take you to do that. I've just realised that my neighbour can see me. I'm filming right out at a window. And I leaned away from my desk and he waved at me, and now I don't know what to do. It's fine. Remember that. You need to write down how long everything is going to take you. The reason I say this is you might think, oh, the hen do is months away, it's 6 months away, I've got ages. Crafting things, if you've done a lot of crafting, then you'll know. If you haven't and you just kind of want to do it for this, it takes you a lot longer than you think it's going to. Write down exactly how long you think it's going to take, or research how long it's going to take to make each of these decorations that you want to make, and then see how many hours that is. And then you'll know how many hours of your life you're going to need to dedicate to this event. Which, by the way, will be totally worth it. It's absolutely worth it in the end. You also want to create a list of sources where you're going to get this stuff, so don't buy everything from the most expensive craft store that you come across. That is asking for trouble. Try and source things secondhand from places. It's amazing if you do a little bit of research online what you're able to find. Also, how long certain things are going to take to get to you if you're ordering stuff. Whole bunch of artificial flowers that you think they're going to be great for a flower crown, they're super cheap. You put off ordering them for some unknown reason, and then you realise they're coming from China and they won't be here for 3 months. That's not what you want. Do your research, be diligent. Be diligent. That's what I was looking for. Number 9, I'm gonna run out of fingers, so, because there's 14 of these. Number 9. Delegate and ask around. So the same goes for not just sourcing DIY stuff. Anything that you think you're going to need, ask around and delegate to your guests. Not everything has to be on you or your other bridesmaids or whoever it is that's helping you organise. You've got these guests coming, they want to be a part of it. Involve them if there's stuff that you need. Case in point, there's usually always something that someone else who's coming has that you could use or that you need. Common things that people will guarantee you have lying around that would be really useful are things like cocktail mixing equipment, mini fridges, cool boxes, blankets. If you're going somewhere cold and you want to wrap up, if you're a sleepover theme, get them all to bring their sleeping bags and their blankets, right? Everyone has stuff like that. Fairy lights and any fancy dress stuff for like a photo booth. If you guys are doing like a sort of DIY photo booth, rather than you going out and buying a whole load of props from scratch, guarantee you someone who is coming to your event, at least one of them, has been to a fancy dress party at some time in their life, or stolen a prop from their Christmas office party, or people have tat like this lying around in their house. Ask them for it, make use of it, okay? The other thing is businesses who might be willing to give you stuff or donate things or give you a discount on certain things. So for instance, flower crowning is a huge thing at hen parties these days. If you are using fresh flowers, it's a little bit trickier unless you're, you know, stealing them from the local park, which you should not do. If you're using artificial flowers, contact a whole load of local florists in your area and ask them for cut-offs, scraps, anything artificial that they use that's just going to get thrown in the bin. These florists are making these beautiful big bouquets, but they're not using the whole part of the flower, or they're cutting little edges off, or they're using half the foliage and then the other half they don't need because it's out of season or whatever. They can give that to you, okay? I know I have got 2 bin bags full of artificial flowers that we used for my best friend's hen, okay? Just ask and you shall receive, mostly. 10, be realistic. I know if you're anything like me, you will just want to do everything. You will want to give your bride to the world and the most incredible weekend, but you have to remember that this is real life and that there will be certain things that will limit you. You need to remember that before you go planning for her to arrive, you know, on horseback, blindfolded to the sound of a live harpist. While that would be beautiful, it's just not gonna happen, probably. Well, it might, I don't know you, and I don't know who you are, but it's unlikely. Budget matters as much as you don't want it to. If you're on a tight budget, try not to get too down about not being able to do everything, because it is actually amazing what you can do on a super tight budget, okay? So try not to think too much about it. And yes, you had the most amazing idea for a giant unicorn balloon sculpture to be outside the front door because she would love that more than anything. But are you going to have time to put it together when you get there? This is a very important side note. Timings are important. If you're not allowed to check in early to where you're going, you will have a very short space of time before your bride arrives, because you don't want to say, oh, we're all going to be there for 6 hours before you're allowed to come, because then what's the point? Like, that evening is gone. You want to try and get in there as early as you are able. Same goes for checking out. You need to make sure you've got enough time to dismantle everything before you need to be out of there. And practical implications, it needs to all fit in bags, cars, van, however you're getting it there. Leaving isn't so much of an issue because you'll probably throw a lot of it out. I hate to tell you. But getting it there. Okay, so just think about the real life stuff. Try not to get too caught up in the planning, because I know that I do that. Number 11, increase your communication. So we're in the run up now, it's sort of a month-ish maybe away from the hen. People are starting to have stuff that they want to know, questions they want answered. So use that Facebook group to answer any FAQs, any big burning questions that people have. Things about toiletries and maybe polls about, you know, who's bringing straighteners and who's bringing a hairdryer. All this kind of stuff. Again, if you look at my video that I'm going to do on doing a Facebook event, polls and things are super useful. Also a really good time a couple of weeks before, a week before, to start reminding people of stuff that they committed to bringing. Those cool boxes and cocktail mixers that I was talking about, if people committed to bringing those 3 months ago, they will definitely have forgotten. So remind them. Check in and say such and such. Are you still bringing this, whatever it is that you wanted them to bring? Keep doing that right up until the day before. Literally the day before, saying, here's a reminder, check everything that you said you were gonna bring because we really need X, Y, and Z. Really excited, have confirmed that there are towels, all that kind of stuff. You want people to be involved and looking forward to it and not feel like they are totally in the dark. Because if you've kept stuff about the theme or stuff about the activities a secret, give them something, because otherwise it's just gonna stress them out and people don't like that. Number 12, double check your bookings. This is the same sort of token as asking people, reminding people of what they're going to bring. If you've booked stuff, I keep talking about strippers, but I want you to know that hen parties are not all about strippers, and there's a lot you can do that don't involve strippers. But for an example, you've booked a stripper, or you've booked an amazing night out, or a breakfast, or a day in an art studio, whatever it is, double check those the day before. Send out messages, send out emails. If you have phone numbers, great. We are just confirming a reservation under this name, etc. Because what you don't want is to turn up on the day and they have no record. Again, this has happened to me, no record of your booking whatsoever, and that kind of throws a big spanner in your plans. So it never hurts to just make sure. Number 13, nearly there now. During the weekend, when you're there, make sure you document everything. Okay, photographs and videos, always. This sounds a bit counterintuitive because you're like, oh my god, what if there's stuff there that we can't, you know, even if this stuff is never meant to see the light of day, okay? Even if it's never gonna go on Facebook or get, you know, printed in a family photo album. Remember that time that mum had to wear that big inflatable dick? Even if they're never gonna go anywhere, guarantee you, you're gonna want them because they will be hilarious. They can get posted in the Facebook event after the event so that everyone can browse through them, but it will be private only to the people who attended. If you're doing an after movie, whether you're making it or you're taking out the package where I make it, you need video footage for this. You need to have lots and lots of footage. You need to have way more footage than you need to be able to crop it down and make it into something really cool. If you don't record everything, yeah, you'll have the memories and everything else, but even after a year, you'll be amazed how much stuff you forget. So it's really nice to have that stuff to look back on. Last but not least, number 14, relax and enjoy yourself, okay? When you are putting all this thing together, you're gonna have an expectation in your head of how it's gonna go. It's not gonna go that way. There are gonna be things that go wrong, happens. What you need to remember is that this is for your bride-to-be. As long as she enjoys herself and has a great time regardless, that is what's important. That is what you need to remember. Try and just roll with the punches. Have some backup games and things just in your back pocket so that if a plan falls through or something doesn't quite work out the way you wanted or you have to cancel something, you've got a little back catalogue of stuff to keep you going. If you get a subscription on Kota Hen, there's another plug. There are so many games and things on there that you will be spoiled for choice. If you still have your subscription when you're out on the weekend and something falls through, it'll take you less than 2 minutes to log in, scroll through and find something and go, yeah, let's play that. Super simple. Just enjoy it, all right? That's all I can say. That is the key thing here. Okay, let me do a really quick summary. In short, do have venue options to show people 1, 2, and 3. Remember, okay? Communicate really clearly about your budget and what you're expecting people to pay and what they get for that. Plan ahead. Always know this will help you with your budget and everything else. What you want to make, what you want to buy, where you're gonna go. Be organized. Ask around, okay? Delegate, ask for things. People will be willing to give you stuff if you ask. Double check your bookings, important. Record everything, enjoy yourself. Don't ignore the bride's wishes. Be unrealistic about budget and length of time that you have. Leave out important information that people need to know. Leave questions unanswered. If people want to know if there are towels, try and find out, even if you don't know, okay? Don't ignore it. Keep adding costs as you go. People really hate it when you go, oh, and this is another thing that's gonna cost this much. Don't do it. Buy everything brand new. You really don't need to do this. You will be able to source a lot secondhand if you really go looking, trust me. Sweat the small stuff. Things are gonna go wrong, you'll just have to deal with it. I really hope that you have found this video helpful. If you would like this information in a handy little ebook, you can let me know and I can send it over to you. Equally, if you would like to find out more about what I do and my wonderful little website, please go and visit www.howtohen.com and I would be happy to answer any questions that you guys have, all right? Happy henning and good luck.